This book is called That's a Possibility, and it's a book about what might happen. It's written by Bruce Goldstone. And in this book today, we're going to be introduced to some math words, some vocabulary that will help us learn about and understand probability. What's a possibility? If something can happen, it's a possibility. Will this mouse find the cheese? Yep, that's a possibility. If one of these balloons pops, will it be the monkey? That's a possibility. What are some other possibilities? Here's a question for you. Might the tiger pop? Yep, that's a possibility. Might the penguin and the crab pop? Yes, that's a possibility too. That's impossible. Something that can't happen is impossible. Might this ball knock down 10 pins? Sure, that's called a strike. Might this ball knock down 4 pins? What about no pins at all? Those are possibilities too. But could this ball knock down 12 pins in one row? Nope, that's impossible. Can you see why? Let's count the pins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are only 10 pins in a bowling lane, so you can't knock down 12 pins at once. That's impossible. Will a chicken hatch from this egg? That's a possibility. Will a snake hatch from this egg? That's a possibility. Will a spider hatch from this egg? That's a possibility. Will an elephant hatch from this egg? That's impossible. Some animals hatch from eggs and some don't. Elephants don't. So unless you're reading a made-up story, it's impossible for an elephant to hatch from an egg. Here's another word that helps us understand probability. The word is certain. That's for certain. If something is sure to happen, it is certain. If one of these fish swims under the bridge, what kind of fish will it be? Well, it's certain that it will be a goldfish because all of these fish are goldfish. If someone cuts these strings, what is certain to happen to the puppet? That's right, the puppet will fall. Will it be likely? Some possible things are more likely to happen than others. Will this bee land on a white flower? That's possible, but it isn't very likely because there are so many more pink flowers than there are white flowers. It's more likely that that bee will land on a pink flower because there are more. If something is more likely to happen than something else, it's probable. Will this butterfly land on one of the purple flowers? That's probable. Can you see why? Possibilities on the wing. If one of these birds squawks, that's a possibility. What colors will the parrot probably be? So if one of those birds is a talking bird and it goes, that's a possibility. Which bird do you think it is most likely to be? Is it most likely to be one of the blue and yellow and green birds? Or is it most likely to be the red bird? Yes, I think so too. I think it's going to be one of these birds. If one of these birds flies away, what color will it probably be? Yes, it will probably be a gray bird because there are far more gray birds than there are white birds. What colors are possible but not likely? Yeah, it's possible that a white bird would fly away. It's also possible that a yellow bird would fly away, but it's not likely. What colors are impossible? You're right. A bluebird. It's impossible for a bluebird to fly away because there are no blue birds, or red, or green, or orange for that matter here. A chance for change. If something is possible but not likely to happen, it is improbable. These gumballs are in this machine. So what do you notice? What color gumball will you probably get? There's more of these, so you will probably get a yellow. What other colors are possible? Is it possible to get a purple? Yes. Is it possible to get a green? Yes. Is it possible to get a red gumball? Yep, it's possible, but it's improbable. It's not likely to happen because there's only one. These prizes are in this machine. There's 200 rings. There are 100 mini erasers. There are 50 lizards. There are 25 plastic bugs. And there is one compass in this whole machine. That's the only compass. What prize are you most likely to get? Yes, a ring, because there are 200 of them. What other prizes are probable? Is it probable that you could get a mini eraser? Yes. A lizard? Yes. Which prize is improbable? The compass. There's only one. It's possible, but it's not likely that you would get a compass. So it's improbable. Pet possibilities. If this cat pounces on one ball of yarn, what color will it probably be? Yes. What other color is possible? Can you think of a color that is impossible for this cat to get? What about red? Is that impossible? Yes, it's impossible because there are no red balls of yarn here. Suppose this dog eats just one of these biscuits. Okay, how likely is that? The dog probably wants to eat all of them. Okay, but here's the question. What shape biscuit will he probably chomp? There's bone shapes, there's circles, and there's a heart. Which one will he probably get? Yes, probably a bone shape because there are so many. What other shapes are possible? Yes, circle shapes are possible, and so is a heart. What shapes are impossible? Well, it could be any shape that isn't here. It could be a rectangle, it could be a square, it could be a star. Those are all impossible because they're not here at all. That seems likely. Your imagination can help you think of possibilities too. What will probably happen when this jumper hits the water? What do you think? Will it splash? Will she get wet? Will there be some bubbles? Those things are all probable. What might this ant probably do with the leaf? It might eat the leaf. That's a good possibility. It might carry the leaf to its nest. That's a possibility too. Will the ant cut the leaf into pieces and throw it around like confetti at a surprise party? That's not possible in real life. It's only a possibility in a story. It would be fun to see though, wouldn't it? Odds aren't strange. The chances that something will happen are called odds. When you flip a coin, there are two possibilities. It can land on one side, that's called the heads side, or on the other side, which is called the tails side. Now, these coins come from the United States of America. They're not Canadian coins, but if you look on a Canadian coin, you will see that we also have a heads on one side and tails, which is always a different picture. The heads is always the head, like it's somebody's head, but the other side is always called tails. And sometimes people do something like this. They take a coin. Oh, I have one. Look, here's a Canadian coin. I just noticed. This is a quarter in Canada. And on the tail side, there is a moose. Can you see? And on the head side, there is a queen. And some people flip the coin and they go like this and they flip it and they say, did you get heads or tails? Well, can you see what I got? I got tails. Let's put that there for now. So the odds that the coin will land heads is 1 out of 2 possibilities. So it's either going to land on heads or tails. There's only 2 choices. You can also say 50% because 50 out of 100 times is the same as 1 out of 2 times. So for every 2 times, you're likely to get 1. Every time you toss a coin, the odds are the same. It doesn't matter what happened before you tossed the coin. So suppose you toss a coin 5 times and it lands up, tails up 5 times. There's my tails. What are the chances that it will land tails up on the 6th toss? Do you think it'll happen again? It might. You might be tempted to say that the coin should land heads because it's been tails so many times. But the odds don't change. There's still a 1 in 2 chance that the coin will land tails up. Suppose you tossed a coin and it lands heads up 10 times in a row. What are the odds that it will land heads up on the 11th toss? Spin to win. Many games depend on what might happen. Some games use spinners. If you spin this spinner, what color will the pointer probably land on? Did you say purple? Why do you think that? Did you say because the purple is bigger? Right. If you spin this spinner, what color will you probably get? Did you say blue? Why did you think that? Right, because there's 2 blue spots and only 1 yellow and 1 pink. The goal of this game is to get to the finish line first. You can choose which spinner to spin. Then you move the number of spaces that the pointer lands on. Oh, look at the choices. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What numbers are possible? Oh, we just said that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Which spinner do you think the red player should use? Do you think the red player should use this spinner and hope for a 1, a 2, or a 3? Or should this player use the blue spinner, the cool color spinner, and hope for a 4, 5, or 6? Yes, I think we would want to get this one so that you could move faster because these numbers are bigger. What do you think the other players? Oh, look, this says jump to finish. So if this yellow player lands on this spot, it gets to go all the way to the finish and be done. And how many spots would that be? 1, 2, 3. So which spinner should yellow choose? The 1, 2, 3 or the 4, 5, 6? I think I would choose this one because if I landed on 3, 1, 2, 3, I would be finished first. It's in the cards. A deck of cards has a lot of possibilities. Every deck has 52 cards and sometimes a joker or 2. So these are all the cards that are in a deck of cards. What are the chances that this card is a red card? Is it likely that it's red? I think it is. It says, remember that half of the cards in a deck are red. See, these ones are all red, and these ones are all red. These are black, and these are black. So, half of them are red. So there's half a chance, or a 50% chance, that this is a red card. What else could it be? What's the other possibility? Yes, black. Is this card probably a king or possibly a king? Let's see how many kings we have. That's a king. That's a king. 3 kings. 4 kings. So out of all of these 52 cards, only 4 are kings. So is it probably a king? Probably not, because there are so many other cards. But could it be a king? Is it possibly a king? Yes, it's possibly a king. Can this card be a 17 of clubs? Is that possible? Let's look at the clubs. Ace, which is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Jack, Queen, King. Could that be a 17 of clubs? No, there's no card with a 17 on it. That's the 10 is the highest. So that's impossible. Is this card probably greater than 3, which means bigger than 3? Well, look at all the cards that are bigger than 3. Lots and lots of them. So is it probably bigger than a 3? I think so, because most of the cards over here are bigger than a 3. Here's the last question. Is it likely that this card is a diamond? So here's all the diamonds. All of these ones are diamonds. Is it likely that it's a diamond? I don't know if it's likely, because there are so many more that aren't diamonds. Is it possible that it's a diamond? Absolutely, because there are this many diamonds. On a roll. If you roll 1 die, what are the possibilities? Can you get a 1? Yep. 2, 3, 4, yes. 5, yes. 6. Can you get a number that's higher than 6 on 1 die? Nope, because 6 is the biggest. Can you roll an even number? Yes, that's a possibility. A 2 is even, a 4 is even, and a 6 is even. You will probably roll a number greater than 2. Can you see why? So these numbers, that's 2 and that's less than 2. Can you see why you'll probably get something bigger than 2? Because there are 4 more options for that. It's impossible to roll a 0. What are some other impossible rolls? Let's look over here. What if you look at 2 dice? This chart shows all the possible sums and the possible ways you can roll each one of them. So you can only roll one, you can only get 2 by rolling this combination, 2 ones. But there's more ways to get 3. There are more ways to get 4. There are even more ways to get 5 and 6 and 7. But then there are fewer ways to get 8 and 9. See, this is 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 3 ways to get the number 10. There are only 2 ways to get the number 11. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And there is only 1 way to get the number 12. There are 4 ways to roll a number 9. What number do you think you are most likely to roll with 2 dice? Which one is most likely? 7 is most likely, because there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different ways to roll a 7. Barely possible. This is Squidgy the bear. He has 10 shirts and 10 pairs of pants. Oh my goodness! How many different outfits can Squidgy wear? You can make a list to show the possible combinations. Well, he's got lots of outfits, doesn't he? I wonder how many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And if we count this way, let's see how many groups of 10 we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 groups of 10. What is 10 groups of 10? 100. If Squidgy wears a different outfit each day, might he wear a leopard print shirt and purple pants tomorrow? Oh my goodness. Well, there's leopard print shirt and purple pants. Is it likely that he'll wear that the next day? That's barely possible. He has a 1 in 100 chance of wearing that outfit. So it's possible, but it's not very likely, because there are so many other choices and options. race results. If a rabbit and a frog, let's call him Ribbit, have a race, who could win? There are two possibilities. Rabbit first, Ribbit second, or Ribbit first, Rabbit second. Those are both possibilities. What if Robot joins the race? How many possibilities are there when these three runners have a race? So let's see. It says, can you say all the possibilities together without getting your tongue twisted? I'm going to try. It could go Rabbit, Ribbit, Robot. It could go Rabbit, Robot, Ribbit. Ribbit, Rabbit, Robot. Ribbit, Robot, Rabbit. Robot, Rabbit, Ribbit. And finally, Robot, Ribbit, Rabbit. How many different possibilities are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a possibility, but it isn't probable that you can say them without getting your tongue twisted. And here, on the last page of the book, are 2 activities that you can try at home. We will share these with you in our weekly plan of learning activities, and maybe you'd like to make a spinner out of a paper plate and a paper clip, or it wouldn't have to be a paper plate. You could also do it on a piece of paper and poke a little hole in the middle. Here's another probability game that you can do. So I hope you have fun learning about what things are possible, what things are impossible, what things are probable or improbable, and maybe you'll notice some things about your daily adventures that you can use these words with and explore probability.